You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. I have a question for you. I don't know if you're going to be able to answer the question, but I guess it's kind of rhetorical because I was thinking. Yeah, sometimes I do that. I was thinking, wait a minute. I got the wrong chair again. You hear that? No, I'm good.
Oh, that one over
there. Yeah, yeah. So I didn't check because I was running and ripping and trying to get in here and get stuff done. And yeah. So here's the deal. I'm going to post on Dr. Ken's Truth on Twitter the price that I paid for gasoline today. So I went and paid some gas. And this is a couple things because I was watching and listening to Tory Lowe today. And earlier he was talking about whether or not we like the things that are happening in the community, are we going to make it? Are we really going to be able to make it? And so while I'm doing this, I stopped and got some gas. And so when I looked at it, I went, that can't be right. And so I'm a news junkie, right? So I'm listening to the news on Sirius XM, and they talk about the price of gas is at an all-time high. I'm like, it was okay. It probably went up 2 or 3 cents, right? Last time I bought gas, maybe 4 days ago, premium gas was about $4.69, $4.67, something like that, $4.67.9. Which I still don't understand why they try to cheat us and put the 0.9 as if we're not going to notice that it's actually a penny more. And when I went there, the gas said $4.999. And I went, so gas is $5 finally. So we've been talking about it, but now it's finally hit. $76.67 to get 15.337 gallons of gas in my car. Not only is that obscene, but it's dangerous. Here's why. I thought about the last time I remember being here in this space, and it was around 1976, Carter administration. I know many of you don't really remember the Carter administration because you're not old enough. You weren't even an embryo in your mama and daddy's eye. You wasn't even, right? I get it. But I didn't have a car then either, right? So if I don't have a car, what do I know? I was a kid. But the fact that we are paying just $5 for gas, for premium gas, that means that regular gas is too high. But what's happening to our community? What's happening to the Black community where we can't afford? Now, before we couldn't afford it because they wouldn't give it to us, right? It's not that we didn't want to work. We couldn't get a job. Not that we didn't want a house. They wouldn't sell us a house. I still have to go through the subtle bigotry of people assuming stuff, and then somebody will call me by my name and use a title, and then all of a sudden I become safe. So at some point, we're approaching that space where if you already didn't have disposable income, it's going to feel like pre-civil rights. It's going to feel like you can't get anything because it costs too much and you literally can't get anything. And how do we fix that? I hear people say salaries are up 14.9%. True. But I already didn't have enough money before. So the fact that inflation went from what, 1.5% to 8%? What am I doing? I'm in the negative if I don't have disposable income. If I don't have a part-time job, I'm in the negative. And let's be real, those 11.5 million jobs that people want, most people don't want to work those jobs because they're in what? Service industry, hospitality industry. People are tired of working so hard and not getting paid a lot. If we don't watch where we're going, we are going to end up exactly where we were. And that 2053 belief idea is going to come to fruition. Black people will be broke, have zero, or be in the negative when it comes to money. There is a significant portion of Black people who actually have money, disposable money, and when inflation hits, it's not going to hit them that bad. They'll tighten up a little bit. They may not go get 2 cups of coffee a day, maybe 1. They may go to the movies twice a month instead of 3 times. They may even drive 1 car instead of 2. But we're headed to a point in America, and we already know when America gets the cold, Black folks in Milwaukee get the flu. It's coming. It's coming to a time where Black people are going to have to reinvigorate, readjust, and reimagine their future. Because we are headed backwards. And that is why I harp constantly about city leadership, common council, county executive, county board of supervisors. It is your job to make sure people can live in the city and the county of Milwaukee. It is your job as an individual to make sure that you are educated enough to be able to get a decent job and live a good, decent life. So when we keep complaining that we don't want to pay for school loans and pay off the 1.6 trillion when we already gave close to 7 trillion to everybody else in America, when we complain that other countries are outpacing us in education because they pay for their citizens to go to school, to college, to university, and we don't, well, we have the audacity to pass a bill in the House of Representatives to help Ukraine before we help people here. You should second guess who you're putting in office in fall of 2022. You should question whether or not we are going to be able to move forward as a country, as Americans, as a race, as a people, as a community, as a neighborhood, as a family. We are setting ourselves up for failure. The least of these, you understand what scripture tells you? You don't take care of the least of these. Come on now. At some point, we have to recognize that it is our responsibility that we who have to assist those who don't, even if it's just helping them understand how you got it and they can get it too. But when we spend more money in a foreign country, spend more money on bombs to a foreign country, more money on food to another country, and we have people here in the inner city that don't have food to eat, And yes, I'm using the buzzword of inner city because I'm talking about black and brown and poor white people. At some point, we need to wake up. Because there's one song that I heard in the church that you never, ever want to have. Because if we keep down the road that we're going, we will be going back to the old time way.
That is